Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made a homemade whole wheat pizza from scratch. Now keep in mind that the recipe for the crust or the dough itself was from Sally's Baking Addiction. It's a blog I found online. I will be linking it in the description box below so that it'll be easier for you to follow along, and I just sort of halved the recipe and went ahead with it. As for the sauce, this is something that my mom likes making, so it's my mom's homemade recipe. So I really hope you sort of enjoy this video. It's going to be very different from the traditional videos I put up. It's going to be a cook with me. I really hope you enjoy it, and I'm not going to spend too much time over here. Let's just get right into it. So I started by combining the yeast and sugar into the warm water and letting the yeast bloom for about 5 minutes. And in the meanwhile, I had 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour prepared, and I just sort of made it into a dough and lined a container with some olive oil and flour to prevent it from sticking. And then I just covered this and set it aside for about an hour or two until I could get the rest of my ingredients ready. And then I took about 5 or 6 tomatoes and about 2 baby onions, but you can use 1 medium onion instead. And because in my family we just love garlic, we got about 7 or 8 cloves of garlic to go along with that. And then I just went ahead and sort of sliced up the onions and roughly diced my tomatoes. I then went ahead and transferred my tomatoes, onions, and garlic into 3 separate bowls before I started making my sauce. From here on, I placed a saucepan over my stove and I lit it at around medium heat, and then I proceeded to add 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil and just sort of waited for that to warm up before I added my garlic into it. So what you want to do is saute the garlic until it turns slightly brown before you add the onions. Once my garlic was slightly brown, I went ahead and added my onions. And the trick here is you're going to have to sort of saute this for a while until the onions change color. They'll become a bit translucent and they'll also soften. Once my onions were ready, I went ahead and added my tomatoes and gave it a nice little stir before I added in my salt and sugar. So you're going to add about 1 tablespoon of salt into this and about half a teaspoon of sugar, although this is completely optional. You can add sugar based on your preference. I then went ahead and added 1 heaped teaspoon of chili powder. That's only because I like my sauce to be slightly spicy. Again, this is completely optional and you can adjust the quantity based on how you like your sauce. Once everything's mixed together really well, just cover it and let it simmer for about 6 or 7 minutes. And once that's done, your tomatoes should look something like this. It's going to be a little mushy, and at this point I would suggest turn off the heat and transfer this into another container to let it cool. Now, while that mixture cools, you're going to prepare toppings of your choice. I took about a medium-sized onion. I had a bell pepper lying around, so I just sort of chopped that up roughly. And I also had some homemade paneer that my grandmom made. So I also took a little bit of that and chopped that up to get it ready for my pizza. So once your tomato mixture is cooled, add it to your mixer, but please pay attention, do not fill it to the top like I did, because otherwise you are going to have this happening. Once you've blended it to the consistency that you like, I would suggest adding some kind of mixed herbs, oregano, whatever you have lying around. I had this, so I just added a little bit of it, sprinkled it in and mixed it all together, and that's it, your sauce is ready. So at this point it had been over an hour and my dough had almost doubled in size, so I just took it out and I sort of poked it and punched it to get all the air out, and then all you got to do is just knead it a little bit more before you can sort of stretch it out on your pizza stone. I then went ahead and preheated my oven to 240 degrees Celsius while I started working on stretching out the dough. Once the dough was all stretched out, I added a little bit of olive oil because after baking apparently it gives you that extra crunch, extra crispiness. So that's what I did, and from here on it was all about assembling the pizza. So I added some of the sauce and then went ahead to add the onions, the bell peppers and the paneer. So for my cheese, I decided to go with fresh mozzarella from Eleftheria Cheese, which is a brand based in Mumbai. So if you are in the area, I highly suggest to go check them out. So then I just went ahead and sort of piled on the cheese onto my pizza until I felt like it was enough to go into the oven. So my oven had been preheating for about 15 minutes already, and at this point my pizza went in, and it's very important to make sure that your oven is super hot when your pizza goes in. And from here all you're going to do is bake it for about 16 to 18 minutes based on how crispy you want it. So this is how the pizza looked like when it came out of the oven, and honestly I was really happy with the outcome. And I have to say, for a whole wheat pizza, this tasted pretty damn good. So that's all guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching me make this pizza, and I hope you try it out. If you do, make sure to tag me and let me know. So all I did was I went ahead and enjoyed this pizza while I watched the sunset from my balcony. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell notifications button so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!